What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and we just got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3, and it gave us so much, including Sharon Carter, Baron Zemo, and that surprise cameo at the end, which it probably is from Wakanda, so which would definitely be lead us more in today's episode. But in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3, and of course I gotta issue the major spoiler alert. If you're trying to avoid all spoilers for Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3, you should probably click right now. Let's get started. So, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3 opens up with a commercial for the Global Repatriation Council, with families gathering and reuniting from the snap, and then it shows to rebuild and restore and get things back to the way they are. And then in the next scene, it shows U.S. Agent John Walker and his sidekick Lamar, also known as Battlestar, go in to investigate a group of men that they are hiding the leader of the Flagsmashers, Carly, and then they ask the man where she is, and then the man refuses to answer them, and then after that he spits in John Walker's face, and then he throws him against the pole, and then he asks the man, "Do you know who I am?" And then the man says he knows him, and that he doesn't care even know who he is. And then the next scene, it takes place in Berlin, where Sam and Bucky are going to visit Zemo in his prison cell. And then Bucky goes to visit Zemo in his prison cell, where Bucky and Zemo are having a conversation, and then Bucky says they are recreating the super soldier serum and they need to know how. And then Zemo says he knows where to begin. And then the way for Zemo to break out of prison is to create a distraction by having the two prisoners fight each other, and then for the prison guards separating them, and that's for a way to Zemo break out of prison using one of the prisoner guards' outfits. And then Sam and Bucky notice that Zemo comes in wearing a prisoner guard's outfit, and then they see that he is at prison, and then Zemo wants to go with them, and then Sam says, "Where do we start?" And then the next scene shows Sam, Bucky, and Zemo are in a parking garage where Zemo is packing all the things, and then as he's packing all the things in the bag before they go, we notice that he's gonna take his mask from the comics with him. And then the next scene shows Sam, Bucky, and Zemo are on a jet, and then Zemo looks through Bucky's notebook, Bucky's list of names of the people that he's killed, and then he mentions, on the list he mentions Nakajima. This is an exact reference to episode 1, where Bucky is looking at a picture of Worry's son that he killed as the Winter Soldier. And then the next scene shows the leader of the Flagsmashers, Carly, who is going to visit her sick mother in the hospital, and she is visiting her. She looks like she is dying. And then the next scene shows Sam, Bucky, and Zemo are walking into Madripoor, and that Sam and Bucky had to have different identities, and that Sam is wearing an outfit and given a nickname for himself, and then Sam is given a nickname for himself called the Smiling Tiger, and that they can't break character while they're in Madripoor. And then as Sam, Bucky, and Zemo are going in a car into Madripoor, that they're followed up by vans and motorcycles right beside them. And then as Sam, Bucky, and Zemo are walking into a bar, and everyone starts to look at Bucky, and they said, "Is that the Winter Soldier?" And then someone who works at the restaurant says to them that you're not welcome here. And then Zemo says that he has no intentions with the Powerbroker, but that he insists he can either come and talk to me. And then the next scene shows Zemo mentioning Winter Soldier attack, and then out of nowhere Bucky goes to attack some men at the bar. He goes to attack them, and then Zemo says that they have to stay in character or else the whole bar turns to them. And then Sam says to Bucky, "You're good." It's almost like Sam cares about Bucky. And then the next scene shows Sam, Bucky, and Zemo going to the back to visit Selby. And that Zemo asks her what she knows about the super soldier serum. And then Selby tells Zemo that the super soldier serum is in Madripoor, and that the Powerbroker had the doctor working on the serum. And then she says the breadcrumbs you can have for free, but the bakery is going to cost you, Zemo. So that means Selby is a criminal figure in Madripoor who has connections to the Powerbroker. And then as Sam's phone rings, Soapy says to him that he has to answer it on speaker, that he knows that it's his sister Sarah calling him. And then Sarah tells Sam about the situation that they're in, and that they're having like big troubles, and that Sam has an income so that he can't pay it. And when they end the phone call, Sarah accidentally says Sam's real identity, which is Sam, and then Soapy finds out that the Smiling Tiger's real name is Sam, and Soapy had the men attack them. And then as Sam and Bucky arrive at the restaurant, they are being attacked by the people shooting them. And then it shows Sharon Carter, the woman who killed the men, and that she saved Sam and Bucky from the men attacking them. And then she tells him that she doesn't have the Avengers to back her up, and that she is off the grid in Madripoor. And then Bucky also tells Sharon too that someone's recreated the super soldier serum, and that she also says that she doesn't speak with family anymore. And then Sharon Carter takes Sam, Bucky, and Zemo to safety in Hightown, as she has a place there. And then while they're at Sharon Carter's place, Bucky mentions Wilfred and Nigel to Sharon. And then she mentions that Nigel works for the Powerbroker. And then they go to a party to stay out of trouble. And then this is what gets really cool. Zemo actually shows himself on the dance floor dancing. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the highlight of the episode with Zemo on the dance floor. And then Sam, Bucky, and Zemo go to visit Nigel, who Sharon mentions earlier that he works for the Powerbroker. And then the next scene shows Sharon Carter beating up every bounty hunter in the city. And then Nigel mentions that when Hydra fell, he was recruited by the CIA. That he says they had blood samples from every American test subject with semi-stable traces of the serum in his system. And then he mentions that he got snapped, and then 5 years later, the program, the Super Soldier program, had been abandoned. So he went there, and it said that the Powerbroker was more than happy to fund the recreation of his work. And then Sam mentions that he made the vitals, and then he says that Carly stole those. And then Sam asked Nigel where Carly is, and then he says that a couple of days ago, he says that she called and asked he could help someone named Danya Madini. And now with Danya Madani, she was the person that mom at the hospital. She was connected to Carly, and that she was an adopted daughter of her. And then Sharon continues on to attack every bounty hunter. And then after that, they end up being attacked. And then they end up escaping in Zemo's car, and that's how they leave to find the leader of the Flagsmashers. And then she mentions that Nigel was killed in Madripoor, and they got the last of his serum, and that the Powerbroker came begging for it. And then in the next scene, we see John Walker and Battlestar in Berlin, and in the same facility that Sam and Bucky were in to break Zemo out of prison. And then as Sam and Bucky are on the jet heading back, Sam mentioned that he made a mistake, that he should have put it in the museum or should have destroyed it. And then Bucky says to him that a shield represents a lot of things to a lot of people. And then Bucky tried to come up with a plan to not destroy the shield, but take it from John Walker, U.S. Agent Captain America. And then Sam got the phone and mentioning the name of Madani, which is the person that she saw at the hospital. Then she mentioned that she died in Riga, a city near the Baltic Sea. And then Zemo says to them that they have a place for them to go, and that they're gonna go to that place. And then the next scene shows the Flagsmashers stealing supplies from a facility that are stealing 6 months worth of supplies from them. And as she said that they are fighting for their lives. And then as they're leaving, they see a car blow up, and the rest of the building blow up as well, and then they leave. And then as Sam, Bucky, and Zemo arrive in Riga, Bucky decides to go on without Sam and Zemo as they go on. And then as Bucky goes on, he finds different bombs. And then as Bucky is walking, he finds even more bombs hiding around the city. And then we get the insane like an ending cameo with, as Bucky turns around, he spots Ayo, and she says that she is here for Zemo. And now with Ayo from Captain America Civil War, she was actually a Black Panther's bodyguard. And now with Wakanda and the Falcon and Winter Soldier from Wakanda, she is going to have to like be searching for Zemo probably in the next episode. Wow, so with that surprise cameo at the end with the person from Wakanda that is one of Black Panther's bodyguards, Silver reminds us of the devastating death of Chadwick Boseman, but with a person that's from Wakanda, like a person from Wakanda and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is definitely gonna be leading us more into the next episode, and that like person from Wakanda, the warrior, is probably gonna be looking for Zemo, and that like now like. And that like Black Panther should have been like killed, you know, as Zemo by now. And so yeah, that is gonna be it for that's gonna be it for my breakdown of the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3. Next week I am gonna be doing a watch party for Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4. So be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you get notified when my watch party for that episode 4 is up and we're running live. So that is it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What was your rating for episode 3? And give it like out of 10. Also, don't forget to like the video, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter for live updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.